Alright, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise to Yahweh Shem Shai, Hashem Kakarash. That's in the ancient Hebrew, saying all praise to Yahweh in the name of Shai, in the name of the Holy Spirit. Yahweh is the correct name for the God of the Bible, who the world ignorantly call Jehovah, God, or Yahweh. His son's true name in the Hebrew is Yahweh Shai, who the world ignorantly call Jesus Christ. True name for the God of the Bible in the Hebrew is Yahweh. His son's true name in the Hebrew is Yahweh Shai. I want to give the honors unto our elders and apostles of Great Millstone, and shalom to all our brothers among the pushing the sword in sincerity and in truth, to all I believe in this gospel. Shalom. All right, this lesson, so we can pull it up real quick. All right, so we can pull it up. All right, here's basically a small snippet from Instagram post for Jamaica Gleaner. It says IDB says Caribbean should brace for high food, fuel prices, and rising interest rates in 2023. Right? It says Caribbean countries should prepare for prolonged effects of external economic shocks in 2023, including for high food and fuel prices and rising in international interest rates, according to a new report from the Inter-American Development Bank. And right now, Jamaica is suffering from inflation, suffering from high food prices, and everybody knows that the price fuel gone up already. But in 2023, it's going to get worse. So this information is basically bringing out, you know. Let's go to this precept here in the book of Ecclesiastes 12, verse 1. It says, Remember now thy Creator in the days of thy youth, while the evil days come not, nor the years draw nigh, when thou shalt say, I have no pleasure in them, while the sun, or the light, or the moon, or the stars be not darkened, nor the clouds return after the rain, in the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble. And funny, one other post, basically it's like a cartoon post, but all the time is basically a form of good what's taking place in Jamaica. It's like when big old ship with IMF, you see me, and Nigel Clark in a little boat, with a leak, and might try to bail out water, and say, in can't avoid the IMF much longer. You know, basically economy Jamaica is sinking. Right? They said the keepers of the house shall tremble, and Nigel Clark would be one of the financial minister of Jamaica. You know, I'm tremble because I'm actually see things getting out of whack, and there's nothing they can do to stop it. You know, because in ideas as prophecy coming to pass, and the scripture tell us, let's get it real quick. The Most I speak prophecy of these things, and all of them all come to pass. You know. Let's get that real quick. So, Isaiah 55, verse 11 says, So shall my word be that goeth forth out of my mouth. It shall not return unto me void, but it shall accomplish that which I please, and it shall prosper in the thing whereto I sent it. So all of the prophecies that's written in the scriptures, none is conditional. You know, they will all come to pass. And that's what we're witnessing right now. You know, as scripture tells us in the book of Habakkuk. Habakkuk 2, verse 3 says, For the vision is yet for an appointed time, where at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come, it will not tarry. So the vision is basically set for a specific time to all of the everything fulfill or come to pass, you know. And it says it shall and not lie. Say that will speak, meaning to come to pass, that will play out and not lie. But the time supposed to wait because scripture says these prophecies, they're faithful and true. Let's get that real quick. Let me go to it's all about patience, waiting for these things to come to pass. Because all of this signify the end of Esau, the so-called white man kingdom. And the scripture said the saints shall take the kingdom. We're going to rule next. So their Lord Yahushai, King David, the apostles, which is basically the kingdom of heaven on earth. This is 2 Corinthians 15, verse 1. Behold, speak thou in the ears of my people the words of prophecy, which I will put in thy mouth, say the Lord. So we're supposed to come out and prophesy as well, give these people warning, you Israelites, so-called Negroes, Native American, and response Latinos. And we will give basically information to these edicts, let them know that, hey, you're going to go in slavery, especially Esau, the so-called white race, the Edomites, let them know that, hey, your kingdom is coming to an end. Verse 2, it says, and cause them to be written in paper, for they are faithful and true. So the prophecies, everything that's written in the scriptures, they are true and faithful, upon which we have faith in, make for believe, as was it, I think Paul said, what I prophet them, I don't remember exactly, I can't remember reading the so-called Old Testament as well. They will become prisoners of hope, right? So back to Ecclesiastes 12, verse 3 now, it says, in the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble. So that's what's taking place now. They must start say, the future dark, and people going riot, according to the prophecy. There will be sedition among men, and who you think them going to go for? These leaders. It says, and the strong men shall bow themselves, and the grinders cease because they are few. And now grinders go back to basically employment, work, business a field. Right, so they must cease, people lose work. Even Amazon laying off people, right? It says, and those that look out the windows be darkened, right? Those that look out the windows, basically look to the future, darkened, everything look grim, right? Read about the title of this. It says, IDB says Caribbean should brace for high food, fuel prices, and rising interest rates in 2023. Right? And that is a dark future. That's those that look out the windows be darkened. Things now look so hopeful anymore. Like how big nose sell the people in prosperity. The prosperity now come. Verse 4, it says, and the door shall be shut in the streets. All right, so business I will start closed down on a rapid scale. So them a talk about within 90 days, supposed to expect something worse than Crown Royal doing 2020. Now, when normal, because there's a destruction upon destruction. It also says, when they should say peace and safety, then sudden destruction. So a lot of people think that things are going back to normal, because Corona Royal gone. Lo and behold, things are getting worse. Because again, it's just the end of the world as you know it. And this thing now turn back. You see the test on these plagues, them shot, in the ends of the world, and now turn back. Because the most I send them. It says when, and one of the main plague, right, what will kill a lot of people is the famine, right? And then who escape the famine, look out for the nukes. World War III will be fought, and it will be fought with nukes according to prophecy, thermonuclear destruction. Right? Only elect will be saved out of it, and then whosoever of the Eden, them will go into slavery. It says, and nobody will basically survive from America when those nukes hit ground zero. Which Mr. Babylon the Great. It says, when the sound of the grinding is low, and he shall rise up at the voice of the bird, and all the daughters of music shall be brought low. Because when this economic collapse completely, then there'll be no dance hall, there'll be no carnival, none of that shit. People will be in the streets hunting for food and rioting. Why not a time for them for partying, You see me? So people in Christmas spirit, they're just done celebrate World Cup victory and all of that bullshit. They're not seeing all the economic woes that's coming, or that them actually being distracted. Right? It says verse 5, also when they shall be afraid of that which is high, and fears shall be in the way, right? Fears, because out of the calamity them will come the plagues that are on the earth. It says, and the almond tree shall flourish, and the grasshopper shall be a burden, and the desire shall fail. So all of the ambitions of people have, so to speak, all of that have come to naught because everything will collapse. It says, because man goeth to his long home, and the mourners go about the streets, The scripture said, wailing shall be in all streets. This is 2nd Ezra chapter 16, verse 17. It said, woe is me, who will deliver me in those days? The beginning, the beginning, it says the beginning of sorrows and great mournings, right? So although we are witness 2020 was just the beginning. A lot of people think, oh, 2021 come now, or 2022, see that the lockdown them done. No, that was just the beginning, or the initial stages. That's why I must say 2023, we talk of verse, right? Some predict, which basically prepare for our planet, these elites, the recession, far surpass what took place in 2008 and 9. It says, the beginning of sorrows and great mournings, the beginning of famine and great death, the beginning of wars, and the power shall stand in fear, the beginning of evils. What shall I do when these evils shall come? So people supposed to repent, but they're now busy, in all manner of evil. It says, behold, famine and plague, tribulation and anguish are sent as scourges for amendment. But for all these things they shall not turn from their wickedness, nor be always mindful of the scourges. Behold, victuals shall be so good cheap upon earth. So when 2020 just hit, food be relatively cheap, affordable meals already. People can afford food, So them things say everything good, because them can eat them belly full. It says that they shall think themselves to be in good case, and even then shall evils grow upon earth. Sword, this is World War III, basically war in general, famine, food shortage, and great confusion. So it will increase as the years go by up until the ultimate, and everything finally sink in. It says, for many of them that dwell upon the earth shall perish of famine, and the other that escape the hunger shall the sword destroy. Which basically go back to, well, ultimately, the news. This is Luke 21, verse 25, and there shall be seen signs in the sun, and in the moon, and in the stars, and upon the earth distress of nations. So a lot of nations are facing distress here. We're funny, even speaking from a co-worker from the Philippines, and he basically give me a couple information on the economic was in the Philippines right now. I must say rice, which they produce, and Philippines supposed to be one of the cheapest place for food because they produce almost everything, food what they need, that is. And I must say rice supposed to be about 20 cent or 20 pesos, something to that effect, but it's 50. So people were promised that it will be to 20, but it are 50, and that's a problem. And them apply for right there. So something like that, just to give a little small information, that's distress of nations. So people are feeling everywhere you go, right? He says, with perplexity, the sea and the waves roaring, men's hearts feeling them for fear and for looking after those things which are coming on the earth, for the powers of heaven shall be shaken. So the Most High ultimately, I bring this down. And all of these leaders, them going to go down with it. And even Easter, the elites, because them things them do orchestrated demolition, and after the ashes, them will rise up, they're going into slavery. The Most High take things out the hand. It says, verse 27, and then shall they see the Son of Man coming in a cloud with power and great glory. And when these things begin to come to pass, then look up and lift up your heads, for redemption draweth nigh. And that's just the end game, the deliverance of the elect of the nation of Israel. And that's what we're looking for. So all of these signs, signs of the times, signs of what the return of our Lord, Yahushai, to destroy this wicked place and deliver his elect. Right? That's why Scripture said the Most High give us a spirit of fear. So when we see these economic woes, coming, supposed to move, as the Scripture said, let not these things trouble thee. right? We're supposed to know, say, yo, guess what? This is the time, it's basically a prophecy is coming into pass. And ultimately, things gonna get worse, ultimately the kingdom of heaven come in, when this place get destroyed, or this kingdom that is cause earth about forever. So with that, what Mr. C, is it final thing like out there, giving our praise to Apoya, how about Shimon Shai, about Shem Kakadash, the honors and to our elders and apostles of greatness to him, and shalom to the full. Shalom.